Our next lesson is on surface area and volume of spheres. To find the surface area of a sphere, the only measurement that you need to find is the radius. In our picture over here on the right, it gives me that the diameter of this sphere is 30. So we know that half of that is the radius, so my radius would be 15. The formula for surface area of a sphere is 4 times pi times r squared. So I simply just substitute in for r 15. So 4 times pi times 15 squared. The first blank here, it asked me to leave my answer in terms of pi, so that means we do not put pi in the calculator, so this would be 4 times 15 squared, which is 900 pi. My unit of measure is centimeters, so centimeters squared. Then the second blank does ask me to put pi in the calculator, so I would just put 900 pi in the calculator, hit enter. I would get 2,827.43 centimeters squared. You'll notice that with a sphere there is no lateral area. That's because a sphere doesn't have bases. So all we have are surface area and volume. Our volume formula for a sphere is V equals 4/3, so that's a fraction, 4/3, times pi r cubed. Okay, so that's the formula on the formula chart for a sphere. So once again, the only unit of measure that we need to be able to figure out what the volume is we have to know the radius of the sphere, which we already do. We said it's 15. So to find volume here, I'm simply going to plug in 15 for the radius in this equation. So 4/3 pi times 15 cubed. Okay, if you want to put 15 cubed in your calculator, you can put it in as 15 times 15 times 15, or you can do 15 and use the caret symbol and hit 3 and then hit enter. Your other option is to hit the math function on your calculator, and there's a cubic function if you hit that function on the calculator. To put this in terms of pi, once again, we would not put the pi in the calculator. When we do that, we would get 4,500 pi. We're talking about volume here, so that's in centimeters cubed. If we round it to the nearest hundredth, we just put 4,500 pi in the calculator. We get 14,137.17 centimeters cubed. All right, moving on to our next example here. Once again, they give me the diameter of this sphere, so make sure we don't use that for radius. The radius is half of the diameter, which is 7. So let's find surface area first. Our formula for surface area was 4 pi r squared. Just plug that radius in the formula, so 7 goes right here. Now this time they asked me to round it to the nearest hundredth, so that means we can put pi in the calculator. Actually, they asked me for both, didn't they? So let's do it in terms of pi first here. So that'd be 196 pi. And then if we put that in the calculator, get the decimal version, we would get 615.75. Okay, so let me write both those in here. So 196 pi centimeters squared, or 615.75 centimeters squared. Okay, so either of those work for the surface area. Alright, our formula for volume is 4/3 pi r cubed. Alright, so let's plug the radius into the equation, which is 7. Okay, once again, in terms of pi, leave pi out of the calculator, you'll get 457 0.33 pi. And then if we do put it in the calculator, we would get 1,436.76. All right, let me put those in my answer blank here. Remember, those are centimeters cubed when we're talking about volume. All right, so there's our two answers for volume, one in terms of pi and one rounded to the nearest hundredth. And that'll do it for our lesson on surface area and volume of spheres.